Episode 12 of Barrels Banter is here. And in this episode, we have a banging tale, ashes to ashes, dog to dog, a firing line debate. Should people take a test like the French? Our field notes and anecdotes. It's your turn to shoot with this or that. We have a real field recommendation about gunner and hound, and our confessions and questions.
It seems wrong that this is going to be a funny story. However,
I feel like the two don't quite necessarily go together, do they?
No. Anyway, so my mum's dog passed away, which is the grandmother to my dog.
Oh, right, yeah.
And she decided to have her cremated, which was a little while ago now. And I was on duty for spreading the ashes. So she's been waiting for me to be available. So I went to her house to go and spread the ashes with her. And she decided last second that she wanted to keep some of the ashes because she wants to make them into a necklace.
Oh, the jewellery thing.
Yeah.
I like these. Although I did see someone the other day who was creating art from them, where they sprinkle them onto a canvas and you become the sand of the canvas. Bit weird. I'm more for the jewellery. I'm with you.
Yeah, jewellery's not a bad idea. So I thought, yeah, good idea. So she gives me the box that the dog is in. And inside the box is a little bag. I don't know, little mini sandwich bag type thing.
The dog's in the sandwich bag?
With the ashes, yeah.
Wow.
So she said, well, I'll give you another bag to put a little bit in. She's not wanting to deal with this. So this is down to me. Yeah. So she gives me the other bag and she disappears out of the kitchen. And I'm looking at these two bags thinking, well, how am I going to get a bit from that bag into that bag without spilling it everywhere? I don't want to drop the dog all over the kitchen, do I?
Not ideal.
So I'm just stood there in sheer panic while she's gone to get her shoes on, thinking, shit, how can I do this nicely and quickly? And all I could think to do was to get a teaspoon out the kitchen drawer and start scooping the dog into another bag with a teaspoon. And Mum was like, oh, you okay, Jen? Yep, just stay out there a minute. Wait there. Why? No, nothing. Just don't worry. Because it felt really inappropriate to be scooping her dog with her teaspoon that she's going to stir her tea with later.
Hopefully you put that in the dishwasher.
Yes, I did.
Wash.
But I just couldn't think what else to do with it.
I don't know how you would do that, because one of those, like you say, you've got your bag, you sprinkle a bit in,
the other bag and
fall
that
out the side, isn't it? No one really wants a bit of
I
dusting
can't
of
say
dog.
I've ever dealt with ashes before, so I wasn't really sure. So yeah, I just went for a teaspoon.
Maybe someone should invent like a special scooper for ashes for making jewellery. Jewellery ash
Dog
scooper.
ash.
There you go. You wanted a new business idea.
There you go. So yeah, I just used that teaspoon. Our firing line debate. So we're going to be discussing whether people in England should take a shooting test like they do in France. You can probably shed a bit more light on the shooting test in France because you...
Yeah, so we didn't ever shoot when we were in France, but we did live out there for a few years. And it's an interesting one because when we first moved over there, we're into driven shooting really. And I've kind of got more stalking in the last few years. We did do a little bit, but out there where we were was a wild boar country. And it was I would say a closed book, but it was quite French. A bit like, to be fair, shooting in England is quite English based. It is not really, yes, you get people that will travel from other countries and come in, but I get a lot of messages from, say, people in America or other countries saying, how do I tap into this? How do I get that? And actually, when you think about it, it's not as easy as you might think. You can buy a day, yes, but it's very hard to just go and get a permission somewhere because it's already hard enough to get a permission in England when you know people and you have been brought up in a village, let alone to come from somewhere else and arrive and then try and make those kind of and make those kind of connections. So we didn't really tap into it when we were over there. But I think I've touched on this before about the fact that we did go along, we did see a few things, etc. However, when we were out there, we dabbled with the idea of potentially getting our licenses over there because we didn't take guns with us. We gave up our guns in England because if you're not a permanent resident in England, you can't keep your guns. So they all went into storage because obviously you couldn't have guns.
You're not a permanent resident in England or France, do you mean?
So if we weren't a permanent resident in England, then our guns in England had to go into storage. Yeah. But in order to have them in France, you'd have to take a French test to be able to get a license. So we were in a bit of a no man's land because we had no permanent residence in the UK. And obviously you can't sort of have guns in a holiday home or somewhere you're coming back to because yes, you can go on holiday for a couple of weeks, but you can't just not be there for 6-8 months a year. So when we looked into it, somebody just sort of said to us, oh, well, I've got the book for you. You can borrow it. And I was like, the book? And they said, yes, the test book, like the practice book. And kind of we looked at each other like, okay. Didn't really think anything of it. Just thought it was basically like England. You do a medical, you sign a load of forms, a couple of referees, and off you go. But it's like a driving theory book.
Oh, wow. So it's quite...
And within the book, you have to identify eggs, species, times of year, like so many different things.
Really in depth then.
Like it's super in depth. It's a lot of pages long, and it covers all sorts of different things. You also have to do a practical on safety.
Oh, okay.
So you have to show that you would know if you came across a stile, how to safely go over a stile, etc., whilst having your gun. And it was a completely new concept on us, if I'm honest with you, but it was like a kind of an epiphany. Why don't we do this?
I don't think it's a bad thing, and I know people will come at me. It's quite a big opinion on this sometimes, but I think unless you've been in the industry or you've seen a lot of it, you don't know how bad it is. For example, I had a guy come into the range one day and he said, oh, any chance I could shoot my 2.2? I said, yeah, no problem. That's what we're here for. We're a range. He says to me, well, the trouble is, he said, I only got a licence because my mate sort of told me to. And then it's coming up for renewal and I haven't bought a gun. So my mate said, I need to hurry up and buy a gun because otherwise you won't get your licence back. So he'd had this licence nearly 5 years and never bought a rifle on it.
Right.
So he went out and bought this 2.2 and he went, God, to be honest, I've never shot a gun before in my life, so I don't really know what I'm doing.
Oh.
So this is a man that has walked in, he's got his own firearms licence, his own firearms, doesn't know what to do.
Wow.
That's how scary it can be. And I think some people don't see the flip side to that.
No.
You know, so from my point of view, I think, yes, I don't think you should just be able to apply for a licence and get it because you've got a few acres to go and shoot some rabbits. There should be some formal training beforehand.
And I think it could be a bit like the DSC 1, DSC 2. You could have levels maybe, but, or where there's a mandatory level to be able to get
to even apply for it.
And then beyond that, you can do additional if you want to, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But interestingly, we've had this conversation a number of times, like my husband and I and other people. The number of people when you're on a driven day who come, they're not regular shooters. They've not necessarily been brought up around guns, but they've bought a gun. They maybe do it a bit corporately or it's kind of their thing that they'll do half a dozen times a year. They've joined a syndicate or something and they travel to X, stay overnight and shoot a couple of times. The number of times you see them tuck a closed gun under their elbow.
Yeah.
And it just, when you're a picker-upper and you're sort of stood not that far away, does raise an eyebrow quite a few times. I think we've both been in that situation where we've thought, like, mate, you've just swung through your neighbour 3 times. You really, you know, what do they say? Guns grow bullets or whatever, don't they? It basically, you just never know. It could just go off. Okay, highly unlikely, but it could do.
Yeah.
And actually, you see your seasoned, your seasoned gun, who has grown up around it, who's probably had a parent that's taught them or has had a mentor over time.
Yeah.
And you can tell the difference because they always break their gun. If their gun is not, again, could be tucked under an arm, but is pointed like directly up at the sky, it's sort of like up their body.
Yeah.
Then fine, it's closed because it's pointed at the sky. But if it's pointed anywhere other than upwards, it's broken. It's never closed, even pointed down towards their feet. And the number of people that have a closed gun pointed down is just, it always surprises me. And I feel, again, things like, let's say you go on a walked up day, how to get over a style.
Yeah, I think there should just be, like I say, I'm not saying it needs to be some massive in-depth thing, but there should be some basic stuff, basic safety knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, the French identification of eggs and every season and all of that. And I mean, and it was the seasons of pretty much everything. I mean, you're talking like random birds that I never even really heard of. So that is incredibly in-depth.
Yeah. But I do think there should be some basic... I mean, we do some at work, which is firearms, like a firearms awareness course.
Yes.
Which people do now to obtain higher caliber guns on their license. Even Somerset say, well, if you do that course, we're happy to look at giving you a higher caliber gun.
Yeah.
But it's quite interesting because a lot of people, oh, well, I don't need to do that. Then they come along and go, do you know what? Actually, that was quite interesting. And I actually learned a lot of stuff that I didn't actually know.
Yeah.
So, don't frown upon it.
There'd be a lot of people in that situation. Like a vast number of people.
Yeah. So, I think there should be more personally, but that's just because I guess I see the raw end of it when it goes wrong.
Yeah, I can understand that. We love to sort of hear your thoughts on debates. We get various messages, private messages as well. Do you think that there should be? Have you maybe come across a situation where you thought, oh gosh, I wish like somebody had told me this before I got in this situation? Or you've seen someone else do something and thought, wow, that guy should have taken a test before he was, or she should have taken a test before they got a firearm, be it shotgun or rifle. It would be interesting to hear other people. We like it when you interact with us and we get your opinions. Because
did I ever tell you, just jumping in, sorry, the story, and it's just reminded me of safety, when I nearly got shot?
No.
Did I not tell you that?
No.
So I was with someone who we shall not name. When we go out rifle shooting, when you go to unload, like I take the magazine, you do the same thing, you take the magazine out and you rack the bolt a few times, just double checking it's empty, everything's out. Well, this person did that and then went to dry fire, which I've done, but I'll always still have it pointed at the floor, knowing, like, just in case. This person did it and a 243 bullet went past me. So he was behind me, like probably me to your sofa away. He was behind me and this bullet went past me and hit the wall in front of me. Because he'd done that whole racking it, but there was a round in there. Rather than pointing at the floor, went like that and it went past me and hit the wall in front of me.
Wow.
That's why I don't know if you've probably noticed now, it'll make sense to you, how safety annoying am I? I go, is your gun unloaded? Is the safety on? Is the gun unloaded? I do it a lot, don't I?
Well,
and that is because I've got this real thing, especially about people being behind me.
Yeah.
Is ever since that I'm really hot on, like, is there a round in there? Have you checked it? Are you sure? Is your safety on? And I don't even notice. I'll even check my gun 3 or 4 times. Yeah. Even if it's on my back, I lean behind me and I go like that to check my safety still on. I haven't touched it, but I've got this real thing about, and it's because of that.
We get quite a few posts as well though, don't we? On our, we had one on YouTube where I think it might have been on one of my videos. We had the gun in a holder on the front of the buggy. Yeah. And someone was like, never walk in front of a gun. I get it. Yeah. I totally get it.
But when I tell you we have checked our rifles 3,000 times.
But the magazine hadn't left the bag. Yeah. We were not even in a position where we were going to be loading the gun. No. It was, we had driven from A to B. The magazine, we were both aware, wasn't even going to be coming out of anywhere until we'd arrived. We weren't even at the destination. Yeah. And I think as long as you are verbally...
Yeah, and like they say, it is that always treat a gun as it's loaded. I get that. And some people could argue, oh, well, you weren't treating it as loaded. But I think you have to remember this situation. Like, you have just taken your gun out of your cabinet. There is nothing in this gun. You haven't even taken a bullet out.
So the magazine's not even in it.
I've got it on the kitchen table when I walk around the kitchen table. Like, come on. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I think there's a line. Yeah. It's just come out the cabinet. I know there's nothing in it. Yeah. So that's my experience of, that's why I'm OCD about safety, because I nearly got shot once.
Fair play. Well, I do agree that I think there should be something. I don't think it needs to be ridiculously in depth, but I love that analogy at the time that someone said, oh, it's just like doing your driving license. It's like doing your driving theory test. You go along. I don't know I think actually it might have all been multiple choice. I can't remember.
If in doubt, go for B. It's my theory.
Field notes and anecdotes of this week. We actually have been doing very similar things, to be honest with you.
We have.
We've been obviously training the puppies that aren't actually puppies anymore. We should keep calling them puppies because I feel like
when they do something wrong, well, they're a puppy.
It's just a puppy.
It's just a puppy.
Just a baby. Just a baby.
Yeah.
Just a baby.
It's allowed to be naughty.
Exactly. Perfect.
5 years old. The puppies are coming out shooting today.
I think they might just be puppies forever. Yeah, we'll just go with that. It's fine. And we've also both been out shooting some bucks as well. Although I say
buck season
shooting, I mean, obviously we're only really just into the start of the buck season, but we have been venturing forth.
Yes, I have had a couple, not many yet. Obviously, we're not far into it yet. I've been out and had a couple, which is good. But also, we've got quite a few nice ones that we're just sort of leaving alone for the time being. Probably won't touch them this year, maybe next year.
Yeah.
Managing them. So we've culled out a couple of older ones, like old ones.
Yeah.
That's tend to, what we do. Cull out the older ones that are only going to go back. Any that have got anything wrong with them, aren't quite looking right. But those sort of middle-aged ones, sort of 4, 5 years old, if they're a nice enough buck, then just leave them alone. So yeah, we've had a couple. You've been out a little
We've been out a little bit. We have, I think we've had 1 or 2 as well. At the moment, it's one of those where in the shooting season, the timing is perfect because it's dark quite early.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But
You're
we're shooting every day. So it's a nightmare.
Aren't you? Yeah.
But it's really hard because we're shooting every day in terms of shooting as in driven shooting, pheasant, partridge season. Then we kind of get to the end of doe season and we're like, right, super, because it's still dark earlier.
Yeah.
And then bang. It's like buck season arrives and it arrives just in time for the school run every day.
Yeah.
So I either, for like those midweek ones, either have to wait until a school holiday or my Saturdays and Sundays where I know I haven't got to do the school run.
Your school runs, just to let people know, are later.
Oh, I have a very late school run. My school run is 6 p.m.
Yeah, whereas most people are going, hang on, school run finishes at 3, half 3.
Yeah.
You have a later school run.
My school run is at 6 o'clock.
Really inconvenient.
Really inconvenient for so many things, because my youngest leaves home at about 7:20 in the morning and he gets back just after 6 in the evening. So here's a long day. But with that late school run means that obviously it really clashes at this time. It's just so frustrating.
Yeah.
Because also, even if it's light till sort of 7:30, by the time I've got back from the school run, even if I'm changed and I've got stuff in the car, to drop him off and then it's 25 minutes to our shoot.
You've got quite a long way to go to your shoot, yeah.
So it's not an easy one. So then I find that once we really hit that buck time, we tend to then go for the late ones where it's like
you're a bit later on in the
like
season.
10 o'clock.
Yeah.
We kind of like sit tight a little bit more till then. Or we aim for our Friday, Saturdays and school holidays. So that does tie our hands slightly.
It's nice when it gets light later, but then it does make a later bedtime.
Oh my gosh, we've had a couple where we've come back. It's fine. What we'll do, we'll just whiz out. We'll just shoot one. We'll have a bit of a stalk. We'll shoot one. We'll just grab something to eat on the way home.
Yeah.
What did we do? Was it last year?
Last summer, every takeaway was shut. We were that late.
11:30. We drove back through the local town.
Well, by the time you sort of dealt with the deer and packed up, and then we've waffled and got in the vehicle.
We'd forgotten the row sack.
Forgot the row sack.
We'd had to walk for a very long way. So we'd ended up gralloching in the dark by the time we'd walked all the way back up to get the buggy, because we left everything in it in the row sack. Walked all the way back down again.
Swapped the buggy for the truck and
it was... and then gone to the chiller and then driven back to the town.
We didn't get any food, did we?
Well, I think we got chips, didn't we, from that Indian takeaway that was
yes,
closing.
we did,
They were really good chips, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
lesson learned, next year we will be getting dinner on the way out.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It would just be like, right, we're having dinner.
Yeah.
5 p.m. Chinese takeaway on the way.
Done. But yeah, it's quite nice. It's nice to have better weather, lighter evenings.
Yes. To be honest, the yellow ball in the sky that makes its occasional appearance is glorious.
Much better than doe season.
But hell's bells, did we have a wet shooting season? I feel like, obviously, it's never perfect in England, but occasionally seeing the yellow ball in the sky is lovely.
Yes, it is.
It's your turn to shoot this week, and you have sent in some this or that as our request from last week. So we're doing this instead of drive names this week, but we would still like you to keep sending those drive names in, keep sending your this and that's in, and we will
send us everything.
Just send, and confessions, obviously. We don't need to ask about that. It's our favourite bit ever.
Poo stories are number one.
Except for last week's, because that was a bit...
Last week.
Still got a bit sick in the back of my throat.
It wasn't last week's, last times.
Last times, I'm so sorry.
We always say that next week and last week, but we forget that
it's 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, so just ignore us.
Last by week.
Yes.
I will ask you people's this or that, and I will throw them at you. You give me your quick reply, and I'll give you mine after.
Oh, okay. No pressure.
Roebuck or fallow buck?
Roebuck.
Oh, God.
Come on, you said quick.
I know, but I'm not quick. Roebuck, because that's what we have access to, but I really love to shoot fallow buck with great big antlers.
Yeah.
Labradors or Spaniels?
Labradors.
Labradors. Wooden stock or synthetic?
Synthetic.
Wooden.
Oh.
Why?
I just prefer a synthetic one. I think they look a little bit more modern. Also, you can beat them around and get them a bit dirtier without damaging the stock.
I'm old school.
A wooden
I'm all
stock
about tradition.
damages more, like chips more, dents more than a synthetic. But that's fine. You shoot side by side, I shoot over and under. You're old school.
I am old school. I'm all about the tradition, man.
'Cause she's old.
Home butchery or game dealer?
Now this is a hard one for me. Because, do you mean like butcher the deer myself or sell it to a game dealer?
I don't know.
The reason I say that's hard, because it's kind of home butchery, but somebody else does it for me. It doesn't go to a game dealer. Someone butchers it.
I think probably what
they
they mean is you butcher it yourself, or you send it away to be butchered and it comes back packaged.
That one.
Game dealer. Me too.
Yeah. I would love to, but with all the will in the world, I
haven't got time for that.
I haven't got time.
Driven days or rough shoot days?
Rough shoot.
Picking up, driven.
Shooting
picking up. Rough shoot.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Didito or crispy?
Crispy.
Didito.
Yeah.
Sealand or deer hunter?
Ooh. Sealand.
I think Sealand too, because I do really like the outer layers, but I do like a deer hunter jumper. But I probably would go Sealand.
I do like a deer hunter heated gilet.
Oh, yeah.
But I do have a lot of Sealand trousers. Sealand, I think.
Yeah,
that's a tough one.
They're
kind of on level with each other.
Yeah, they are, because I kind of would mix and match both bits.
But really. I would say I've got more Sealand than deer hunter.
Summer or winter stalk?
Summer, obviously.
Yeah. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Yeah. Mountains or sea?
Or sea. Oh, come on.
I really struggle because I am like 100% split between the two. I absolutely love being up a hill. I love
You like altitude?
My choice would but I love the sea.
You have to pick one. If you were going to die tomorrow and tomorrow we could only go to the sea or a mountain, which would you choose?
Sea.
There you go. I find something really relaxing about listening to the sea.
Yeah.
I find it really calming. I just sit on the beach and just listen.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for being up a mountain. But
okay,
sea.
You've got to get there first.
That's true. Sea.
Yeah.
Mountains, very, very close second. Chocolate or Haribo?
Ooh, Haribo.
Chocolate.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's a tough one for me because I go through phases where I'll eat sweets like Haribo, don't touch chocolate for months, and then I go the other way. Like Easter come round
every day.
Do you?
Without fail. If I don't eat chocolate in a day, there is something seriously wrong with me. I only don't eat chocolate if I'm actually really ill.
Oh no, that chocolate I had today was the first bit of chocolate I've had in probably a week or more.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Literally, I might not eat chocolate for 4 days of the year.
Oh, wow.
I eat chocolate every day.
How are you so
But
thin?
I generally eat chocolate after 6 p.m. This is my rule.
No.
Diet Coke finishes at 6 p.m. Chocolate after 6 p.m.
You switch out your Diet Coke for the chocolate?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Basically. High seat or stalk?
Oh, that is a tough one. Stalk.
Ditto, 100%.
I do like a high seat. There is something about being sat there and everything coming to life that doesn't know you're there. And do you know what I mean? You're quietly sat there and all of a sudden things just start popping out of hedges. But I do like that tough stalk where it's like there's a deer over there and I've got to try and get to it. There's far more achievement in crawling across a field and then getting onto a deer than just sitting there, for sure.
Meat or fish?
Meat.
Fish.
Oh, yeah, you eat a lot more fish than I do, though.
Tea in the high seat or a hip flask in the high seat?
Well, I'd love to say hip flask. It would be my preferred choice. However, as a responsible gun owner, I go for tea.
What about if you were filming some bants in the high seat for our podcast?
Oh, if I wasn't shooting, then yeah, hip flask for sure.
I hate tea and I don't drink alcohol, so...
Yeah, Celine's a bit weird.
I'd put Coke in the hip flask.
Yeah, Celine only literally drinks Diet Coke. She doesn't drink water, she doesn't drink juice, she doesn't tea, she doesn't drink coffee.
Fizzy water after 6 p.m. That's part of my special thing. Listen, 6 p.m, Diet Coke out, fizzy water in.
Chocolate in.
Elderflower, that arrives at 6 p.m.
Yeah, like an elderflower.
Yeah. Raspberry lemonade, 6 p.m.
You're wild,
chocolate
you are.
6 p.m.
Go
Absolutely.
steady. This is why we've never been on a night out, because we are realms apart. Selena be going for a fizzy water while Sarah's hitting the shots.
Bolt action or straight pull?
Bolt action.
Ditto. And last one, deer stalk or picking up?
Deer stalk.
Picking up. Wow. And I knew that would be that.
Yeah.
I feel like you're like 70% deer stalk, 30% picking up. And I'm like 70% picking up, 30% deer stalk. But I still really enjoy going stalking, and you still really enjoy going picking up. But I feel like if somebody turned around and said to you, you can only ever do one thing in the future,
after
you'd
tomorrow,
have your dogs, but you'd go
deer stalking. Couldn't give up deer stalking.
I would 100% go picking up, and I would just watch the deer in the field.
Yeah. Just watch me shoot them.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
I could be your ghillie.
My ghillie.
Our real field recommendation this week is from you.
Yes, I'm going to recommend a company called Gunner and Hound. You may or may not have heard of it. They do things like quarter zips, gilets, shirts, country clothing.
A lot of it's top half wear.
Yeah, all top half wear. But it's just really nice. It's a little bit different. So I've got like a blue gilet from them, and the side panels are like a darker blue with a slight tweed in them.
Yes, I've seen them. So I've seen you wearing it. It's chauffeur-esque.
Yeah.
But with a tweed twist.
Yeah, but not too tweed. It's not in your face tweed like you would only wear that on a shoot day.
No.
I would wear it with a nice top to the pub type of gilet. So really nice, really high quality. And I really love, have you seen those pheasant shirts that they do?
Yes.
I can't explain to people, and it really frustrates me. I want people to be able to feel this shirt, okay? It is the nicest shirt I have ever owned. The material of it is really soft and slightly stretchy material.
Oh, right,
It's not like a hard cotton. You know, sometimes like shooting shirts, you know, like the checked ones, they get a bit of a horrible feel to them after a wash. Yeah. Whereas this is like so, I don't even have to iron it. It's soft, it's stretchy, it is so comfortable.
How long is it in the body though?
Now, I will say they do come up a little bit short.
Because this is my problem. I've got a long body.
Yeah.
And quite long legs. And I went to the game fair years ago. This was well pre-Gunner and Hound existing. Okay?
Yeah.
And I went round. This was also pre-Ginger and Jardine. I wear a lot of the Rolex. So pre all of these things, we're talking
Back
in the day, when you were just but a wee twinkle in your mother's eye. And I went around lots of different places. And obviously, you know, shooting kit is geared up towards men, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you got your male shirts, that's fine. And I wore men's shirts for many years.
Oh, so did I. It was the only thing on the market.
That was the only thing that existed. But they're quite big in the body. So you kind of had to like crumple them up and stuff them down the back of your trousers.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you looked like you were wearing a sack, didn't you? So I then went round and they started bringing out ladies' shirts. And all of the ladies' shirts stopped before my trousers started.
Oh.
And I went round and there was this woman and she was like, oh, we've got all these shirts. They were lovely. They had like pheasants on and partridges and this, that and the other. And I said, well, it's fantastic, but they don't meet my trousers.
Yeah.
And even she said, yeah, this is a flaw in the market. When they then made them for women, they just decided that all women are like 5 foot tall.
Right.
And they're not, Yeah,
I would say they do come up a little bit short, but I'd say for me that's not a problem because I kind of wear it like tucked into a pair of jeans anyway.
Yeah.
I'm more of a tuck-in person.
Well, they're not that short then. If you can, I'm talking. Some of these were like really
no, I
short.
can tuck it into my jeans.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, really nice. Great quality.
So they would work really well with a pair of breeks then, because you could just tuck them into the breeks.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, some of these still had like a bit of skin showing at the arc bit, you know, on the sides. They were, I might have.
And another brilliant thing about it, maybe this is just me. So it buttons up. Do you ever find like this is women, bear with us, men, at the boob part, your button pulls a little bit.
Yeah.
It's got a little clasp just in between that button that you do up so you don't get that boob
It doesn't
gapage.
look like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really good.
Oh, that's really well thought.
Yeah,
especially
really.
if you're shooting, because your arms up and arms out. I know it's not entirely shooting wear. I know a lot of it's
I haven't worn
casual
it
wear.
shooting yet. I was going to wear it when we had our shoot day because I
Yeah.
thought it'd be quite nice, but I'm just too scared to get blood and stuff on it because it's just such a nice shirt.
Fair enough. But if you were just stood on peg and you weren't necessarily then going to be doing what we do, which is stand on peg and then go off picking up with the dogs.
Yeah.
If you were just on peg,
Oh,
actually,
100%. Stunning.
and if your arms up, arms down, that's when I find that shirts like that actually don't sit very well. But somebody's obviously thought that through.
Yeah. So no, that would be my recommendation.
Lovely. Our confessions and questions are here.
And I've got a jingle for it.
You promised one last time.
It was 5-star reviewed and requested for me
it
to
was?
jingle. Yeah. I've been rehearsing this for weeks.
Have you?
No, I just thought of it now.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready?
You planned this, did you? This was something that you've held close to your mind.
I've been stood in front of the bathroom mirror rehearsing it.
Yeah, it's not just come to you in the last 5 seconds because suddenly you thought, oh my God, I completely forgot about that.
Maybe.
Okay.
But we're going to go with it. And everyone's going to love it.
Perfect.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
A 3, a 2, 3, 2, 1. Confessions, questions, confessions, questions, confessions and question time. That was good, wasn't it?
That was remarkably good, to be fair.
Thank you.
And on that note, our syndicate is leaving our current farm and starting a whole new shoot for next season. The question is, with a new shoot comes new fines. What are your suggestions? Now, if you are somebody that doesn't know what we're talking about, I will just put this one out there. Some syndicates, and to be fair, groups of people, will run a fine system, often for charity. Sometimes they just do it where they then split it between one person and the charity. Normally it's a charity thing, and it would be, so a real obvious one that happens on shoots specifically and not necessarily just on a syndicate element would be the white bird. So if someone shoots a white bird, then you have to pay X amount and it goes to charity. Could be £100, could be 200, whatever.
Some people even do if you don't shoot the white bird, you get fined. If you shoot it
and miss, you get fined.
If you shoot it and hit it, you get fined. It's kind of
all
like
different figures.
You just as well try and shoot it because you're going to get fined whether you shoot it, hit it, miss it, or not. Really, on a white bird, you're screwed if you see one.
So we have had a thought about a few of the ones that we might suggest. I was thinking no politics before lunchtime.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That is a good one. Forgetting your peg number.
Oh, you'll get loads of money for that one.
And then also, you then get the point where then someone goes, no, I was 6.
No, I was 6.
No, I was 6.
Yeah.
So it's not just you forgetting your peg number, but you could have the person that is convinced they know their peg number and they're wrong.
Or you could be Celine, who forgets her wheel of numbers.
Oh yeah, I lost that on the end of the
lost
first
that.
drive.
So you then had to go by mind to find out what your number was. So you would have got a fine for that one.
Yeah.
You'll make good money on that one.
Yeah, I think you would. What else? You thought of a couple.
Yes. So we've also last pigeon.
Oh, so I love that one rather than first pigeon. So some people do first pigeon, some people do last pigeon, don't they? And the last pigeon means that anyone that you're obviously aiming to shoot a pigeon, but the last person to shoot the pigeon. So you might think you're last and suddenly a pigeon pops out.
Yeah. And so that's always a good one.
Or everybody else pays and the person that shoots the last pigeon doesn't pay.
Yeah. Firing one barrel.
Oh my God. I think we need to just fine everyone in the world for that because that's really annoying.
When people have a cracking bird come over and they only try with one barrel. It's like, come on, you've got 2. You have to fire 2 barrels to be in with a chance.
I've been picking up at places where you have a whole team and they're like 1 barrel people. It's like, just please, I can't cope. You can see the frustration on the keeper's face. Bang. Bang. Yeah. Like, no, guys. Bang, 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 bang.
Please. Using the phrase, back in my day.
Oh, yeah.
Back in my day. They like that one.
I reckon I would be one of those people that would be saying things like that.
Yeah.
Leaving your gun in the car.
Oh, popular one. Guns often forget their gun. I mean, I don't know how you forget your gun when you're a gun. That's like us picking up and not taking the dogs, in my eyes.
We did have one of these technical issues, didn't we, on one of our shoots one day?
Slight technical problem.
Where it was somebody else that was shooting at ours, and they put all their guns in the gator to get up the hill, and then everyone took their gun off of the gator. They all went off to lunch, all the guns went off, all the pickers and beaters and everyone finished, and they've gone off to lunch, we've gone to the next drive, and everyone gets out of the shoot vehicles, and this chap just stands there and goes, well, where's my gun? And everyone else goes, well, I don't know, where did you put your gun? And he went, well, I put it in the back of the gate. And everyone else went, well, you were supposed to get it out of the gate at the other end. Everybody else got it out of the gate. And he went, well, I didn't. And so, was it you and me?
Yeah.
Ran back, because they're walking to the first drive. The beaters are all in position. The guns are walking down. Ran up the hill, didn't we? Jumped in my car, drove to where the mule was parked. Thankfully, next to a house in a gated yard.
Yeah, it's in like a farmyard.
Yeah, in a farmyard. Drove down, grabbed the gun, popped it in the car, drove all the way back to the other thing. Everyone had ended up waiting for 15 minutes. Yeah. All the beaters were just stood there, not able to do anything, and took the gun back to the gun. The gun. How do you manage that? How is that even possible?
It happens quite a lot, that even if it's just they've got out the back of the truck that they're in, they get to Peg and go, oh, I've left it in the truck or the back of the wagon.
I've had that a couple of times.
They do it all the time.
People. Yeah. Just walk to Peg and then just stand there and go.
We'll be stood on Peg, won't we, pick it up, and we'll just radio each other, go, that looks suspicious. There's a gun walking back up the hill. I reckon he's forgotten his gun.
An empty cartridge bag.
Oh, yeah.
We all know that person runs out of cartridges.
Yeah.
It's not cool. Not cool, guys.
No, not cool at all.
Saying a bird was shot when you actually missed it. Or saying that you shared it. That's another one, isn't it?
If you screwed.
We would be absolutely screwed.
We always share birds.
We don't recommend that one, actually. We've changed our minds.
Handling a dog more than shooting the bird. So if you've taken a dog with you on the day.
Cringe.
And all we can hear is you whistling your dog, shouting your dog, dog's not doing this, and you're not even shooting.
It's when the birds are going over the person and they're handling their... It's just don't worry about the dog during the drive. Just shoot the birds, do the dog in a minute.
Yeah, it's quite frustrating.
I feel like this is just us ranting.
It is a little bit.
Yeah.
These are our pet peeves on a shoot that you're now going to fine everyone for.
Yeah, basically, this is pet peeves and now, exactly, become your fine list.
And lastly, we've got no tie. If they turn up on a shoot day not wearing a tie.
That is a key one that we've had many a time on our fine list. And one day in Scotland, we were in Scotland, and one of the chaps that we shoot with was sat at lunch. And someone looked at him and went, you just look different. And he went, why? And then someone said, it's a weird tie. And what he'd done is he'd realised he'd forgotten his tie. So he'd taken his garter off,
and
fashioned it into a tie, and it had taken till lunchtime before anyone realised. And he had done a good job.
I mean, fair play to him for using his initiative.
Yeah, to be fair, he got fined £100 for that.
Yeah, but I see, that's harsh. The man had a tie on.
Well, I suppose...
No one specified what the tie had to look like.
No, that's true.
He could have drawn a tie on his top if he wanted to.
I think they had him for deception.
Yeah, okay. So those would be our recommendations for your fines.
Our confession arrives today from one of our regular listeners. Listeners?
Sorry, occasionally we have speech impairments.
Our confession arrives today from one of our listeners who is a regular listener called Chris. Chris says, last July in peak 30-degree heat after a clay shooting morning with my best mate, we went out in our village to 2 glorious pubs. Both were running beer and cider festivals on the same day. It would have been rude not to attend both. We started at the pub near his house around midday. Several pints of guest cider later, including a lethal 6.5% Farmer's Special, we were pleasantly but safe drunk and set off for the second pub near mine. It was about a 20-minute walk, hot sun, blue skies, life was good. 5 minutes from my house, he suddenly froze. Oh, no, I need the toilet. Just hold it, mine's 2 minutes away. Then, oh, no, I can't. And with that, total system failure. Right there in the street, full surrender. He looked at me in horror. It's running down my leg. Now, I don't panic in a crisis. I've dealt with far worse in my job. So I calmly said, right, to mine, now. We snuck him down the side gate and into the back garden. Neighbours thankfully out. I made him strip off on the lawn and empty his pockets. Miraculously, the phone did survive. And stand facing the fence. Garden hose on jet setting, legs apart, bent slightly, missed a bit. In 30-degree heat, an emergency outdoor power wash was surprisingly refreshing. Antibacterial soap deployed, towel thrown, upstairs shower immediately. His clothes were jet washed as best as possible, sealed in a black bin bag of shame for collection another day. So I lent him some of mine. Slightly short in the leg, but dignity was already long gone. By 5 p.m, freshly scrubbed and laughing hysterically, we decided the only reasonable course of action was to go back to the pub. The evening was going beautifully until I made the mistake of tying my 43-kilo dog to a picnic bench. He spotted a poodle across the garden and launched like a missile. The entire table went with him. 6 near-full pints smashed in spectacular fashion. 100 people, total silence. Then someone shouted, "Hey, that just cost me 35 quid." All in all, one of the best days I've had. 12 hours straight with your best mate, including an emergency hose down and a flying pub table. It's hard to beat. Now that is friendship. I'm glad you said after the clay shoot and not before.
Yes, definitely. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it was summer, so you could just have a hose down in the garden, I suppose.
Can you imagine if that had been winter?
I've got to be honest.
Mind you, there was the man that dunked in the trough, wasn't there? So
yeah,
could have happened.
I wouldn't hose you down.
Thanks, mate.
You'd be on your own. Well, so this one says 3 coffees before. There we go. Speech dyslexia again. 3 coffees before leaving the house. Big mistake. First drive hadn't even started and I felt the warning tremor. I told myself I could hold it. I could not. I slipped discreetly behind a bale stack, gun broken, hat on, dignity pending. Mid-crisis, the horn blew early and the beating line appeared over the rise like a charge of light brigade. There is no greater panic than trying to reassemble tweed layers while maintaining eye contact with 12 beaters and a Labrador.
You can imagine him like, where do I put the gun? Where do I put the gun?
Yeah, just sheer panic.
You know where we are. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We've got all of the podcast on all of the platforms. We are on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, you name it, we're out there. And we even have our email address, barrelsandbanter@gmail.com. So send us your funnies, send us your questions. And don't forget, we've got this or that and drive names. And we would love a 5-star review.
Oh, you're doing a jingle now as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, basically, if you haven't left us a 5-star review yet, we will be going through those that have, and those that haven't, you will be blocked from listening to the podcast. Because there's just no excuse, really. If you're
2
listening to us, you
seconds.
obviously like us.
Yeah.
Just hit the 5-star thing, because we're so cool.
We are so cool. We will be back for episode 13. 13 before you know it.
Whoa, unlucky number. Could be a dodgy
Maybe
pod.
maybe we need some really bad stories for 13.
That could be the episode we get cancelled in. Woohoo! Buckle
That could
up,
already
people.
have happened. As Jimmy Carr says, what is going to cancel him is already out there.
True.
Just
Tune in to find out.